Go.
We're group 5. We're doing our presentation on the Disney and Pixar relationship. A little background, Disney and Pixar's first project was in 1986. By 1997, they were co-producing and had agreements at that time. In 2004, the relationship began to deteriorate, and talks for Pixar being purchased by another company began to happen. Disney and Pixar together have a lot of value. In their relationships, they've split their profits 50-50. As an example, Pixar had an income of 39%, Disney 61% for The Incredibles. Both companies have had constant growth since 1996 and really strong box office performance. Next slide. The value of the companies together, purchasing Pixar would be disruptive to Disney's price per earnings. Pixar had really strong price per earnings at that time. Because of the deteriorating relationship, Pixar had already identified companies interested in purchasing them, like Sony, Warner Brothers, and Fox. As far as the potential suitors, Fox had box office profits of $125 million, Warner Brothers $205 million. Disney's partners like DreamWorks had profits of $317 million. Next slide.
The question about where Disney would realize the value was based around common ownership or a new contract with Pixar. Steve Jobs said that we spent 10 years merging two cultures together, which really, highlighted the point that their technology would have to be created. And Disney would have to pay 6.5 to 7.4 billion of that to acquire with Pixar at the time. Their strengths complemented Pixar and vice versa, where Disney's strategy of theme parks, a strong brand of animated characters and consumer games and products would work well with Pixar's animation. Pixar's 3D software acquisition would also include all of the technologies, which is Disney's weakness at the time. A new contract for Pixar would have benefits as they would have more control over the direct sequels, whereas they were worried about Disney tarnishing the image of their movies in the sequels, but Disney wouldn't have a problem with that as seen per their history. The movie deal that they were currently under production with Cars led them up to their 5-year agreement, which would end in 2006. And the problem there at that time would be whether or not they would be able to integrate leadership and the technologies and cultures into Disney.
If Disney were to acquire Pixar, Bob Iger would need to manage a few specific things, specifically creating a supportive and trusting working environment. Pixar was built very much on a creative working environment with not a lot of management. Bob Iger would need to make sure that Pixar was able to continue that when it was bought out by Disney. It would also need to navigate successfully merging a large company culture into a small company culture that Pixar was. Disney would also need to make sure that Pixar maintained its technological advances. Pixar was very much a leading part of the animation industry, and Disney would need to make sure that it continued to learn and acquire those technologies for the industry, as well as retaining top talent. We previously mentioned that there were some rocky relationships between Michael Eisner and Steve Jobs. These talent would need to be retained in order for Pixar to continue to develop at the rate that it had been.
So should Disney acquire Pixar? We recommend yes. Disney's strengths of distribution and branding opportunities, we believe, plays well with Pixar's strengths of technology and culture. Pairing successful brands together in this situation, we feel would be a successful merger. Pixar should have autonomy to maintain ideas, sequels, and technology. And the main sticking point is for Pixar is maintaining brand integrity.
So to summarize, what we have decided is that absolutely Disney should acquire Pixar. Together, they are worth far more than they would be separately. They have complement synergies. Pixar has the technology and can create great films. Disney can distribute and market the films. And with those two powers combined, they can earn much more money. And so the main concerns is that they need to focus on maintaining the personalities and the culture that exists within Pixar. Disney can't overstep their bounds and start dictating how they should run their shop. They should let them do their creative process and reap the benefits. And if these companies are able to merge and combine their cultures, both will greatly profit.